Now remember, in the last video, I was telling you that I was going to show you how Christians are getting involved in meddling with things that they should not be doing. And here we have a video of some program, some seminar, something setting up where they're trying to get Christians to be involved in the election night of counting votes and being an election worker, and not doing it just for being, most people do it for patriotic duty for their country, and then others will do it because it's a nice little pay for retirees or college students and things. No, they've got a different motive. Take a listen.
I promised you guys an action plan on how to do it. And we spent months calculating and creating, meeting with experts, something that we felt like could take Christians and put them in a place of influence. Just imagine, it's election night. Chaos is happening. The polls are closing. They go and the volunteers are getting kicked out. But what if we had Christians across America in swing states like Wisconsin that were actually the ones counting the votes and making sure it was happening? So I want to introduce you to our program called Fight the Fraud, How to Become an Election Worker in 4 Easy Steps. Now, this program right here, it takes 15 minutes. And it doesn't matter if you struggle with technology or if you're like absolutely awesome at it. It's super easy to do. And here's the cool thing about it. A lot of people don't realize this, but in Wisconsin, you can get paid to be an election worker. So listen, are you guys ready to make a difference? Are you guys ready to get off the sidelines and make history this November? All right, everybody get your phone ready. I see some are jumping the gun, but look, I've got a QR code for you right here. This is totally free. Everything we do, we're a 501c4 nonprofit. This is a free course. And the cool thing about it is that in 15 minutes, all you do is step 1, register to vote. And if you're not, we help you register. Step 2, you select your state. And then after you select your state, we connect you with your local municipality to apply to be an actual election worker. Now, if you're wondering, well, I'm a poll watcher or a volunteer, here's the difference. At election night, what happens is when the polls start to close or chaos unfolds, they're going to kick the volunteers out. You are actually going to be a paid election worker. You're going to be trained by your local municipality. I call this our Trojan horse in. They don't see it coming, but we're going to flood election poll stations across the country with spirit-filled believers.
And you see that? So they're trying to talk about, you're going to be there as this paid worker when the chaos and all. What chaos? Why does it have to be chaos on election night? You know why it has to be chaos? Because the last president has never conceded. That's why it's chaos. He's never conceded. He continues to lie, pushing lies, and Christians somehow stand by that. And then on top of it, there's over 70-something election deniers already within the swing states set up so that they can cause the chaos. So what chaos is coming? It's not coming from your average American citizen that's trying to do their duty and go out there and vote and no chaos and all of this. I'm joking in a way, but you know what? None of these nutcases better get in my way or my face when it's time to vote, because I'm going to push them right out of the way and I'm going right to the machine. I don't want to hear it. Get out of my face. So just don't get in my way. That's all I'm saying. Don't get in my way, because these folks are crazy, many of them. And, they're sitting there, they're plotting and scheming, and they're the ones that's pushing about the chaos. And Joe Walsh has talked about this. I don't know if he's what's his spiritual belief or anything like this or that. But I was just, he's talking about when I showed you the video where he was just talking about Trump is trying to push on people's fear and this, that, or that. And he went on to say we're better than that and all of this. But this is where, and there's some slight language in there where he might use a curse word or so, not an excessive one, I think. But let's take a listen to what he says, what needs to happen. And I agree.
Ask a simple question. Do you want this party to no longer be Trump's party? Do you want the Republican Party to move on from Trump? And Trump is undoubtedly, I get a yes. And then that enables me to say very respectfully, well, the best and easiest and fastest way for the Republican Party to move on from Donald Trump is for Donald Trump to get his ass spanked this November. Trump needs to lose decisively. The only way, the only shot Republicans have to begin to move from Trump is for Trump to lose in the mother of all landslides this November. The message that still resonates is January 6th. The message that resonates when I talk to Trump supporters and Republicans is Donald Trump still hasn't conceded the 2020 election. Donald Trump incited a violent attempt to overthrow the 2020 election. He's doing it again right now. Trump right now is refusing to say he'll concede if he loses again. And Trump supporter, you know that if and when he loses, he won't concede. Shame on him. Shame on him. That's the opposite of what we teach our children, to be a good, respectful loser. Elections are the heartbeat of America. We all make a pact, winners or losers. We all agree to accept the verdict, to accept the result, to accept the will of the people. Donald Trump never will. And he's telling us again he won't. Man, that's a direct attack against our democracy.
You see that? I believe this. I've been saying it on the last several videos. I'm praying and asking the Lord to bring down every ministry that's been built upon Mr. Trump, and that how they've utilized him to financially fleece people, spiritually fleece people, and all of that. And I ask the Lord to crash these ministries. And not only that, in order for them to be crashed, Mr. Trump is going to have to take a licking. He needs his butt kicked in November by losing, by a landslide, to where there can't be no question that this man lost. This thing is a cancer within the church realm, because Christians are sitting there, instead of doing it, they're going to every event that they can, because they're trying to manipulate their philosophy, their ways, their warped, perverted version of Christianity on the people in any kind of way they can, that they're willing to set in these types of events where this guy, instead of just going and trying to learn to be I've been around the poll workers, let's put it that way. I understand how it works and things like that. I've had to, even when I was an old custodian over the years at my church, I'd open the doors for the poll workers to let them in, set up the machines, seeing the workers over the years, the same ones that work, and doing a service for their country. And then the college kids that come along and actually trying to earn a little extra money, but at the same time doing a great duty for their country. But no, now Christians, they've got another ulterior motive, because they've been brainwashed into thinking like, oh, there's going to be some type of chaos. There's going to be something crazy going on, and you're going to be in a great place. Because why you're in such a great place? What, when they come to tell you, you know what? Find the votes. Find the votes, because he's losing right here, or whatever. These numbers aren't right. You guys need to find the votes. So you didn't set yourself up, because when they come and try to manipulate and tell you guys, find them votes, count them things again, stand there, nobody's leaving, because this is what's chaotic. And this is, so you're willing to go through all of that. Like I said, this movement, this Christian Nationalist movement, and all of these folks, they're lazy. Many of them, tons of them are not true disciples of Christ, because their actions and ways shows otherwise. Like I said, there's no fruit. They don't show anything. Others, they just hide behind the Christian banner. They're just trying to use Christians or whatever. And just like when the devil uses you, you know what? He chews you up and spit you out. Because that's all what it's about. Many of these evangelicals don't even realize they're being used. They are being used, and that's it. Used for the votes or whatever they can get. So these people in high places can get out of them, and they don't want anything to do with you. They're laughing at you and making a buffoonery out of you. And this is why this movement, that on November, it's one way to get the church, try to get this cancer out of the church, and for believers to get back on track, quit the idol worship, because that's the number one thing that has infiltrated the church like never before. They want to keep trying to throw out other things. They'll say, oh, abortion. They'll say this. Oh, your country is being ran over. This, all of these other things. No, it's idol worship. Idol worship and idol worship of money, idol worship of a person, and all of that. The love of money, all of that has happened and has infiltrated the church like never before. And instead of Christians going out, being a witness for the Lord, being a light for the Lord, and all of that, they have decided to link up with a shortcut of some kind of way with the enemy so that they can somehow set back and enjoy the spoils. And what is that? Watching people fall on their face and laughing at it, and watching people come under some type of punishment. That's all they're worrying about, retribution and all of these things. That's the spoils that you really are looking forward to as a believer, looking for somebody's downfall. We know what scriptures tell us not to look forward to somebody being, if the judgment of God is upon them, and laugh at that or this or that, because he may move his hand away from that, and then the joke will be on you. What's that about? Do you see what I'm saying? So these people, instead of having, some may be there, I'm sure there's going to be regular workers and those out there that's been doing it for years, doing it for their country and for a good reason. But then the others are caught up in this movement, and we're following a guy like this, wasting their time sitting there and being told that their chaos is coming and all of that, when they are a part of the chaos. What a shame. I mean, and the only way to get rid of this thing is Trump has to be removed. He has to be removed, and the MAGA movement, it has to fizzle out. That's the only way. And the Republican Party will have to get back to the basics and rebuild from the ground up. That's the only way. It's the only way. So that they can get back to their basics of their values and the things that they stood for, as they say, the Reagan style conservative, where it's just debates and simple things and meeting of the minds with both parties. And we know that some people, I know some of you don't believe in the voting thing and stuff like that's fine, but I mean, we're in a country where the voting and things happen and things like that. But this MAGA has infiltrated, and the reason why I had to focus on it, because here you got. This guy has come in. The devil has utilized this guy, Mr. Trump, and this movement to, infiltrate the church. The church is in total disarray because of this. Where you got pastors preaching from pulpits political messages, and people that are going on tirades and teaching. I mean, that's all that they can talk about. It's something political anymore. They can't teach you and break down the scriptures. Half of these preachers don't even study Hebrew, Greek, or none of it, or none of the stuff to understand the context of text so that people can kind of learn. So their Bible studies is no more a Bible study or a Sunday school from many of these places, or is pointless. You don't even waste your time going to some of these places, because you're not going to learn anything. It's going to have to be on you to learn and study for yourself to show yourself approved unto God, because you should be doing that anyway. Get yourself the study Bible. Get yourself the thing so you can understand the scriptures and everything in context. And don't listen to these people that tell you stuff like this, that America was founded as a Christian nation, and all of these political leaders and all of this crazy talk like this.
America was founded by a group of Christians. I'm going to try it again. A group of Christians. I'm going to try it one more time. A group of
Two-thirds of our founding fathers were ordained ministers. That's why when you open up the Constitution, that's when you get the Bill of Rights. All those are founded on scriptures straight out of the Bible.
Don't get caught up and see like this guy looking foolish, preaching, talking like that. So that's all I have. It has to go. It's that's the only way for the churches to get themselves a reset. It's got to get out of the church. It has to go. Sorry. I'm sorry. I know holding on to your idol and things like that is tough. It's tough, but it's got to go. And until it out of there and we get back to some normalcy, this people are doing, the devil is utilizing believers and twisting things in such a way that they don't know whether they're coming or going anymore. So that's all I have for today. Evangelism for God, where we take the devil head on and punch him right in between the chops. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.